Yeah, good evening, guys. Uh, Welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to another weekly analysis. Right, so this is Analysis King. Uh, I want to say a big thank you to all my subscribers. I want to say a big thank you to those who take out time to actually watch the videos, and I know that you actually gain a lot from the contents that I actually that I put online, right? So if you still want more of this content, right? So if you still want more of this content, do well to subscribe, do well to turn on the notification button, right? To know when I actually upload a video, right? To know when I actually upload a video. And don't forget to like, don't forget to like the video. Don't please and please comment on the video. Let me see if if you are actually gaining value or if you're getting value from the video. So let's get into the video, right? So yeah, I remember we actually did an analysis last week on Euro USD. We did an analysis of Euro USD on USD and on USD CAD, right? So I think we did this, and also we did analysis on this the 100S. Yeah, so this is the 100S and also the 25S. Although the 100S, I've actually removed the markups because it didn't give me an entry, right? So it didn't give me an entry around, I think it was around this region, right? So I actually removed the markups, right? So, but the 25S, the 25S, the markups are still there, right? So the markups are still there, I think so. Yeah, so the markups are still there on V25, right? So all I was waiting for, like I explained, because we can see that on the from the 4 hour, we can see that there is a break of market structure on the 4 hour. Now here is a 2 hour chart. You can see that there is a break of market structure, right? They've taken out liquidity, right? They've taken out liquidity below this structure level. So they've taken out liquidity. Now the next region that they've taken out liquidity and they are forming another low. Now this is the other low that they've actually formed, right? So all we'll be looking for are selling opportunities, right? So we'll be looking at selling opportunities around this liquidity point, right? So we'll be looking for selling opportunities. Let me go to 1 hour chart to actually uh, um, expand the market very well so that you'll be able to see it, right? So um, the first place I'll be looking for selling opportunities is around this region, right? So um, I would love to see selling opportunities first around this region, right? On 25 days because we already have an idea of the direction of the market, right? So we actually explain the directional bias of the market, right? So all I'll be looking for is a sell, right? So I'll be looking for a sell. So I'll be looking for price to come back into this region, right? Come back into this region before we go back to the downside, right? So I'll be looking for an entry. I'll place a pending order around this region, right, before going back to the downside. Right? So this is exactly one of the regions. This is one of the regions I will be looking at to sell this 25 1S, right? So, but let's go to the the review on forex, right? Let's go to the review on forex, the trades that we actually do. Now, the first thing that I actually spoke about was USD index. Like I said, USD index, the index rather is actually, it talks about the strength, right? The strength in the dollar, if the dollar is strong or if the dollar is weak. Like I explained the last time, we actually saw that price has taken a liquidity here. Like I explained in the last videos, right? So if you've not watched liquidity videos, you can actually go into my playlist and you will see the liquidity video that is how to spot liquidity, where I explain basically where and where liquidities are, right? So one thing I actually spoke about liquidity was double tops and double bottoms, right? So double tops and double bottoms are actually traps in the market where you actually see the highest form of liquidity. The highest form of liquidity are double tops and double bottoms, where These are chart patterns. Double top and double bottoms are chart patterns. But the truth be told, double bottoms and double tops as chart patterns, they don't work, right? So all they actually see is liquidity in the market when the broker opens, right? When the broker looks at his charts, he sees liquidity in the market. He doesn't care whether it is a chart pattern or whatever. If all those chart patterns actually work, I think everybody will be profitable. But the truth is that people it doesn't work. That's why people are actually not profitable, right? So what actually moves this market, like I've actually explained, is liquidity, right? So you need to understand what liquidity is, where it resides, right? These are the things that you need to understand. Now, they can see that liquidity is around this region, right? Because they've taken out this double top, right? Take out a double top with this spike, which is what I explained, that they now created a demand, right? This is the demand, right? So, sorry, this is supply rather. This is plus supply, the supply zone. They created a supply zone. Then I actually stated that I was going to see price come back into this region. We didn't get there. We didn't get there ultimately, but funny enough, I actually took a buying opportunity on USD card because also on USD share, right? I took a buying opportunity on USD share, right? Using this particular because I was using this particular movement, right? Because I was actually looking at the way the market was moving. It wasn't moving the way I liked, and I waited for price to come back to this region because structurally, right? Structurally, if you look very closely, we can see that they've taken market structure, right? So they're taking market structure around this region, right? So once I saw that they've taken market structure, I actually switched my bias from the sell side to a buy side, right? I switched my sales from the sell side to a buy side. So all I wanted to see was price to come back into this region. We didn't get there, right? We didn't get there into this region. The next thing that I actually was looking at, right? Because one thing I actually want to see, I actually look at is this particular US index. It gives me the strength. If I want to trade Euro USD, I need to understand what the US index is doing, right? So, because if the US index is going up, Euro USD would definitely be going down, right? When they took out liquidity here, which was this structure, when they broke out structure, right? This medium structure, when they took this structure out, I knew that something was up, right? They didn't come back down here. They took out structure around this region with this strong momentum, right? So I knew that these guys are not ready to go down yet, right? Now all I waited for was price to come back into this region. They didn't come back into this region, but all they were doing was that they were creating a series of higher highs. If you use the trend line, right? If you use the trend line, they were creating a series of higher highs, right? So this is what they were creating: higher highs and higher, higher lows and higher lows and higher lows, right? It shows that they were actually, and these higher lows, right, shows a bullish continuation in the market, right? So this was my thought process, right? All I was looking at, what I was waiting for price to come back here, but instead, price was not coming back here. Sorry, price wasn't coming back here. All price was doing was price was giving me higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and higher lows patterns and movement. So my thought process was, okay, since these guys are giving me higher lows, then the only thing I should look for is a buying opportunity. When price came into this region, I went to my USDCHF, which I'm actually going to show to you, which I actually posted in my group, that will be looking for buying opportunities on USDCHF, right? So I'm actually going to share the screenshot of how I posted in the group on USDCHF, right? So let me look at the screenshot. Please pardon me. I really don't. Just pardon me. Let me show you the evidence that in my group, I actually in my free group, and also particularly I'll show you my free group where I I told them about the trade, right? Where I told them about the trade. Let me uh, sorry, please. Right, so this is my Telegram group, right? So this is my free group, right? So this was where I told them about the trade. Um, see it? Okay, yeah, this is so this is basically where I told them about the USD share trade. Let me look for it, right? So let me look for it. Let me look for it. This was USD card that I'm actually going to talk about how I do the trade. This was USD chef review, right? That I did, right? So this was basically where I looked out for to buy USD chef, right? So this was where I looked out for to buy USD chef, and price came into this region, right? So this is it. This is exactly what it is that I sent to the group. That okay, I'm actually looking to buy USD chef around this region because I saw the momentum on the US index. I saw that they started creating higher highs, higher lows, and higher lows, right? So I saw a buying momentum. Then my buyer shifted from sell side to the buy side, right? So all I was looking for on USD share was a buy trade, right? So and we actually posted the after, and I made a video, right? I made a video on the review, right? On how I took the USD share trade, right? So everything is in my channel, right? So this is USD card that I'm actually going to talk about, right? So this was the ending of the USD share trade. I don't know. I don't think I posted the results. Right? I didn't post the result on USD share. I don't think I did. I don't think I posted the result to USD card. I don't think I posted the result on USD share, but you can see that I actually called the trade, right? I called the trade on my group that I'm actually looking to buy USD share, right? I'm actually looking to buy USD chef, right? Um, so basically that's actually my group. So I actually told them that we're going to buy USD chef, and also we're going to buy the USD card, right? So when I went back down to the USD chef, let me show you what I saw, right? Let me show you what I saw on USD chef, right? So this was the buy, right? This was actually the buy on USD share that were bought, not this region. This was today. I was actually looking to continue the buy around this region, but we didn't get an entry, right? So this was the region that we actually bought USD share yesterday from the analysis that in my group that I actually posted. This was the region which you can see that we actually talked about that we're going to buy USD share, right? So I think it moved almost more than 100 pips, right? It moved more than 100 pips to the upside, right? So both my free members and actually my paid group members actually got in this trade, right? So they actually got in this trade. All I saw on this trade was structurally, right? We can see that there is a break of market structure. Higher highs and higher lows are being formed, right? So you can see that there is a continuation in the buy side. Now, secondly, I saw a demand zone that was actually created, which was here a drop, a base, and a rally, right? So once price got into that region, also using my US index as my parameter, I was using it as my parameter to actually take this trade. Then I told them to actually sell I told them to put a sell limit, like put a sell limit, and they did put a sell limit here, and we can actually see how the trade went, right? So I was actually looking for a second buying opportunity here, but they didn't give me an entry. Right? So let's go to the USD CAD trade, right? So basically, this was the trade that I took today, right? This trade right here was the trade that I showed you that I called in my group that I was looking to actually buy, right? Still using the USD card as my, still using the, uh, still using the US index as my parameter, right? So what I saw on the USD card was I saw a movement. The first place I actually wanted to buy USD card was here, right? So, but when I started seeing series of higher highs and higher highs, right? So price didn't come back down here. But the first thing I saw on USD card, sorry, the first thing I saw on USD card, sorry, just the first thing I saw on USD card, I didn't see price didn't come to break the structure. But instead, price came back down, rallied, and broke out the highs, which was the high. It took out the high. I said, okay, fine. Since price has taken out the high, I don't think price will come back here to buy. So since they took structure, while I was waiting for price to show me another structure, now they've taken out structure around this region. This was another structure I was waiting for, right? Sorry. I was waiting for this particular structure right here to form. Now, price formed this structure. As price formed this structure, I knew that they were actually going to buy. So when I went back, which is my 15 minutes, I saw that they've actually taken liquidity around this candle. Look at this region, right? This was the region I actually waited for. I said, okay, fine. Since these people have taken liquidity around here, this was liquidity region, right? Because people's stop losses are here. They tapped their stop loss out, came back down, created a demand. Now, this is actually a very perfect demand, right? They created a demand around this region. All I was waiting for, I set myself my buy limit around here. Price dragged a little before price went to my direction. This was actually my TP. So you can see the sheer accuracy on this, right? So price came to my TP and reversed. Where was my TP? Around the high of the candle, which was the high of Monday, right? The high of Monday was my TP, right? So when price came into that region, reversed, right? You can see the drop, right? So basically, this is basically what I actually took on. It's basically what I did on USD CAD, right? So USD CAD and USDCHF, right? So let's see what I'm actually going to take for the week. So I have my eyes are on Euro CAD. My eyes are on Euro CAD, right? So we're going to do some analysis on Euro CAD, right? So Euro CAD and Euro GBP, right? So Euro GBP is a pair I really don't trade, right? I really don't trade Euro GBP, but the setup is good. The setup looks good, extremely good. So I actually want to be taking Euro GBP. So I would be looking at USD CAD, Euro CAD, and Euro GBP for my possible trades, right? For the right. So on USD CAD, on Euro CAD rather, you can actually see from the higher frame perspective that they've taken out the structurally. We can see that they've taken out liquidity around this region. Like I said, trading is all about one liquidity to the next liquidity. Taking out the stops from the taking out the stops from one liquidity and taking out the stops from the next liquidity. You can actually see that they created a low. This is the lowest low and this is the lowest high, the highest high. Now they've taken out the highest high, right? They've taken out this highest high. Now my thought process now is I'm looking for buying opportunities. They started giving me a series of higher highs, right? Price broke this high, right? Price broke this high, price broke this high, right? Price formed another high. Now this would be my ultimate high and my target, right? For Euro GBP CAD, right? So this would be my ultimate high, and this would be my target for GBP CAD. So when I went back to my 30 minutes, right? When I didn't get the structure very clear from the 1 hour, right? So I went back to my I think 30 minutes or 15 minutes, right, to give me a clear structure, right, to actually buy. Right? So I went back to my 15 minutes. All right. When I went back to my 15 minutes, I actually saw that. Let me look this. Right. Okay. Now, perfect. When I went to my 15 minutes, I actually saw a playing out, right? Now, this is exactly what I actually explained. From one liquidity to the next liquidity, right? So they take out the stop loss here. They take out the stop loss, reverse a little, right? Now all they want to do is, now this particular region right here is actually a demand zone, right? The goal, right? The goal for them is that they actually want to take out the early buyers, right? They take out the early buyers inside this 4-hour demand zone. What they did was they created, people bought here, people stops are here. They now created this double top, one and double bottoms. When I saw this and I saw this, I knew that these guys were going to take this out. They were going to take these guys out and formed a structure. So when I now went back, I came back to my 13 minutes, I saw this particular structure. I said, okay, fine. Since I'm looking for buying opportunities, I actually want to see them take out these highs. Now you can see that price has taken out this high. Now, all I'm looking for on this trade, right? All I'm looking for on this trade are buying opportunities. So I actually want to look for buying opportunities around this region, right? Now, price has not come back to actually mitigate this block. Price has not come back. Right? Price has not come back to mitigate this block, right? So all I'll be waiting for is price to come back to test this supply zone, right? To test this particular supply zone before going back to the upside. So my upside target is actually this region, right? My upside target is this region, this high. This high here is my upside target. This is my target, right? So I'm waiting for price to come back here. This is my target. This region right here is my target. So this is where I actually want to take the down. I actually want to exit my position. Right? So I'll be looking for price to come back down here and actually buy, take out the stop loss and exit around that high. So this is basically what I'm looking for on Euro card, right? This is basically what I'm looking for on the Euro card, right? So let's go to Euro GBP. Euro GBP, right? All right, so yeah, all right. So on Euro GBP, let's go to the higher time frame, right? Let's go to the higher time frame. Let's go to 4 hour. On Euro GBP, you can see that there is a pattern on Euro GBP, right? Now, what they've actually done on Euro GBP, you can see that they actually came back into this demand zone. But you can also see on Euro GBP that price has shifted from a sell side to a buy side. Why? They've taken out liquidity structure. They've taken out liquidity, which is structure also. Because you can see that they created lows, right? They created high, right? This is a high, this is a low, this is a high, this is a low, this is a low, this is a high, this is a low. Now, they shifted structure, they shifted the market, which is structure, once they took out this high. Remember my video on structure, how I actually explained how the video on structure, how I actually explained how price a series of higher highs and higher lows and lower lows and lower highs, right? Which is actually the structural movement of the buy side and the sell side, right? That you want to actually, once you want to see the market shifting, you want to see the reversal in the market. If it's the sell side, you actually want to see them take out the last high that made the low, right? The last high that made the low, the last high that made the low, the last high that made the low in the market, right? So basically, this was what they did. Then they came back and into that demand zone, they shoot up. Now, I went back to my 1 hour. I wanted to see there's a pattern that I will make a video on Wyckoff, right? So I actually wait for Wyckoff, right? Wyckoff pattern to actually play out, right? I went back to, it's not really clear here on the 13 minutes. I went back to my 1 hour. I went back to my 1 hour. I started seeing the pattern, right? They created this low. They created this low. Now they've created a spring, right? There's something we call a spring in Wyckoff, right? There's something we call a spring in Wyckoff. Now, the only thing that will make me take that will confirm that the buyers are in the market is once they break this structure. Once they break this structure, I will be looking for buying opportunities. Once this structure is broken, once the structure is cleared, I'll be looking for buying opportunities to come back to clear this particular region. Once they come back to clear this region, I'll be looking to buy around this region right here. Once they come back to clear this is exactly what I'm waiting for. Once they clear this region, right? Then once they clear this region, then I'll be looking for them to come back, right? Sorry. Once they come back, now it has shown me that they've broken structure. Once they come back, then I'll be looking for buyers around this region. Okay. I'll be looking to buy around this region. So this is basically where I will be looking to buy on Euro share, right now, Euro GBP, right? So I want to see this kind of play, right? So this kind of play, because they've actually shown me what I need to see already. Now I want to see this kind of play I want to see structure to be taken out. Then they come back into the structure and give me a very good entry to buy, right? So I'll be looking to buy Euro GBP here. I'll be looking to buy Euro GBP around this region, right? I'll be looking to buy Euro GBP around this region. So this is basically what this is the schematic I'll be looking for on Euro GBP, right? So basically this is what I'm actually looking for on Euro GBP, right? So we've actually come to the end of the video. Please and please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you actually, and don't forget to comment if you love the video. If you like what I'm actually doing, it gives me more encouragement to do what I'm doing, right? So it shows that people are trying to appreciate the work that I do, right? So if you actually like the video, please do well to if you actually like the video, please do well to press that like button and press the notification button and also subscribe to the channel. See you next week. Cheers and God bless.